Hi class, welcome to week 13. We're almost done with the class now, so we really just have 2 more real weeks, about 3 weeks or so, just over 3 weeks, until you have to turn in your project. So let's get going. What I'm going to do first is talk about what we're doing this week, and then also just give you kind of an overview and get a chance to see what's going to play out in the weeks ahead. So in terms of this week, this is the last week where I'm kind of giving you things that are going to be required on your final project, tutorials on those. The next couple weeks, if I throw in tutorials here and there, there'll be sort of optional things you might want to look at, you could look at possibly, that you don't have to necessarily look at and do or necessarily incorporate in your site. So for this week, what we're looking at is how to do forms, styling forms. You're required to do a form and a Google search. So let's look at the forms page. There are 3 different tutorials on the forms here, and excuse me, with these, they cover 3 different parts. So the first one is on the HTML, how to write the HTML out to make the form, and and it covers the different form elements that you can use. The second one covers styling the form with CSS. And we don't use tables here for forms. That was used to be done a lot, but we're not doing that. And then the third one just adds a couple little extra styles that you can add that aren't required. But if you want to make it look a little bit different or better, you can do that. And one of the important things to remember with the forms is, when the part of your form here, and let me pause this and make it a little bit bigger, is part of your form requires a, let's see if we can zoom that in here. I can't zoom it in, so I guess I'll leave it out here. Part of your form requires to have an action in it, but normally your action part of the form goes to a page that actually processes it. In this class, I'm not requiring your form to actually do anything. I just want to make sure that you know how to style a form and make it look good, but it's not required as part of the final that this form goes to another page. So in your case, if you like, you can leave this action blank, alright, in terms of your form. So you just have the form out there and don't have an action. Alright, so that sort of goes through forms and styling them, and it shows you a few different ways that you can lay them out with 1 column or 2 columns on the forms. The next page is for the Google search. So I've added that now you have Google Maps, Google Calendar, and now Google search. This is on the copy paste embed section of the site, and if you click view, it takes you to that Google search page where I sort of explain a little bit about how to do it. And I'm going to pull in here a Google custom search and make this fit a bit better to what we're doing. And just a few things that are in here that I might as well show you live while I have the chance to do it on video, is that in Google search, there's a few things once you get this set up that you want to look at. So one is, after you get signed in and create a search engine, the look and feel here under the control panel, you're going to want to make sure you choose iframe as the hosting option. So that's important. That gives you a search box and a separate page for the results, and gives you some limited styling. And then in the code area, so when you click the get code here, they give you 2 separate codes, right? So this one actually gives you the search box and what it looks like, and the second one is the results. So that's, you would put on a separate page of your search results page, which is a page you can just make up, style it like you style your other pages on the site, but then just have the Google search results there. And by the way, this counts as one of your pages in the page requirements for the final project. So it's sort of one page that you don't have to develop any content for, which is nice. You just can use the styling. And just to show you a quick example of this in action, this here is the example of the Google custom search. If I click back off of it, you'll see it puts its custom search in there. And then when you do the search, what happens? So this is the first piece of code that you copy. It gives you this. You can style it up a little bit differently too if you'd like. And then the second piece of code you copy goes to a page like this one. You see how this page is basically has the same shape of the site and the outline of it. But all this stuff here is the results that come from the Google search that Google pastes in. So you can put in like a title there, an H2 tag or something like that. But the rest of it comes from Google itself, and you just need to leave enough space for it. And one thing, by the way, there's about 500, I think it's maybe 550 pixels wide, that this won't get any narrower than. You can make it wider, but you can't make it narrower than that. Okay, so that is the Google custom search. All right, so let's go back to Blackboard. Oh, one other thing with the Google custom search is that you do have to have your site up and online to test it out. You can't do it locally from your flash drive. In terms of the discussion board, this week the discussion board is about your final project. What I basically want you to do here in this discussion board is to answer these questions. What's it about? What are you interested in doing it? Who's the audience? What's your creative direction? And I often find that being able to either verbalize these things, talking to someone, or write them out to help explain it to someone else can give you better direction as well in terms of what to do for your project and help you with that. So this is going to be, like I said, the last discussion board that you have to do. And then the assignment is this week to do your final design comp. So don't paralyze yourself trying to get every page and everything designed. I just want you to try to get a design out there that can be looked at and give comments on and get you going and get you started on the design of your final project. And that's kind of a good segue into the next part that I wanted to talk about, which is the time that we have left. So you will be seeing this at the earliest on December 1st, and that's a Wednesday. You'll have then 4 days to complete your mock-up, well 5 if you count the first. By Sunday, if you turn it in early Monday morning, that's okay too. But I want you to get some design in there so that you can get that. I can try to get you feedback in the next few days. Over the next few days here, through now until Sunday, I'm going to be trying to do feedback and give you guys feedback as soon as I can on your design proposals. And the next week then, so essentially after that, it's mostly working on your final project. So that's your sort of, you create a mock-up, but then you just keep working on it. At this point, you probably want to try to convert it into HTML. All right? So that by the next Sunday, the 12th, you have a version out in HTML and CSS with a design. And then you just keep, and again, keep working on it from there. The 15th is when finals start. You're allowed to turn in your project on the 15th if you like, but finals end on the 21st, and that is my absolute sort of drop-dead due date. So you kind of have then a little over a week to work on your project and finish it up before the 21st. The 21st is sort of an absolute date. If you don't turn it in by then, I have to turn in my grades, so I'm going to have to give you a grade in the class. And that's kind of it. It's not a lot of time left, so we get to work. And as usual, I'm available through email. And if you want to schedule other things, office hours. I had a couple students take advantage of a synchronous tool I can use where I can see your computer and we can talk over the phone at the same time. So I can actually work with you on your project sort of live, but not necessarily face to face, and other things like that. So good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing your designs and your projects.